So it can be really intimidating as anybody to get up in front of a crowd or sit in front of a camera, get on a podcast and talk, right? And try to express your opinions, your expertise on any sort of subject. It's an intimidating thing. I completely understand that. But the benefit of it and why you should want to do it as somebody who has a business or any sort of service or organization or cause that they want people to know about, much in the way that you as a business run ads and create organic content, you as an individual can do the same thing to create awareness, to put your name out there, and cultivate awareness, trust, authority, informational authority. When people are, say, searching for a B2B SaaS product, right? Odds are they're going to end up on a platform like LinkedIn. They're going to end up in various different blogs and social communities where they can crowdsource information. And if you're one of those voices, right, that they're crowdsourcing information from that they recognize, that puts you ahead of the other individuals that they might consider, right, down the road for a purchase. Different platforms, I think, attract different sorts of audiences. So for, say, Liger or Tarkington's purposes, right, primarily we and the people that we work with are going to be on a platform like LinkedIn. And the reason for that is LinkedIn has a disproportionate population of the sort of people that we would want to do business with. If we're trying to make a sale, trying to attract a client or a partner, the decision makers and stakeholders that we would want to communicate with, they're mostly on LinkedIn. LinkedIn itself has made smart moves to establish themselves as that player in the game, and then that over time has built momentum, and now here we are on this path where LinkedIn is the online community to do business. But I will say this, thinking about content and the sort of content that you want to create and put out there, there are a variety of different ways, a variety of different formats that you can choose from. I think what's important is that you have a medium of content that's long form, be it a blog or a podcast or a vlog that produces content that you can then take and break down and reformat into other pieces of content. So then when you go on your social media platform, when you go on LinkedIn, you have a variety of content mediums to choose from. People are generally drawn towards visuals, right? So photos, video, and that is usually the hook that then gets them to read text. So in thinking about content formats, you want something that is long form, that you're really able to dig into the details of your expertise and whatever subject you're talking about, but you can then break up into shorter form content, blast out on whatever platform you're using. Thought leadership takes time. That is the unfortunate truth about it, but the reality about it. And from an agency perspective or a services perspective, it's a hard sell, because what you're asking somebody to do is, you're a founder, you're an entrepreneur, you're a professional inside some sort of business, and you have a 40, 50, 60-hour week, maybe more than that, particularly the entrepreneurs generally do, and you're asking them to take time to think about, ideate, right, strategize, and create and promote content. It takes time, and it's hard because not only does it take time to produce the content, it takes time to build the momentum, right, as a thought leader, to develop the sort of authority, follower count, awareness, recognition that you can then act on in a meaningful way. It doesn't take a terrible amount of time, but enough to the point where you're looking at a few months of work, right? You're looking at 6 months to a year before you really are able to establish a presence that is worth the investment, right? That's when you start to see dividends. So it's a hard sell. What I would say is that what matters is consistency, right? When you're talking about any sort of habit that you're wanting to build. At the outset, don't go into it thinking that you have to put in all the time in the world. Rather, build consistency, right? Build consistent habits. 30 minutes a day, right? You're going on some sort of social media platform, interacting with your community, with your audience, forming connections, seeing what's out there. And then maybe another 30 minutes at the end of the day, you're writing content that you can then post, right? And you start small in meaningful ways like that over time, again, it goes back to that word I used earlier, momentum, right? You're building it over time. So it's a hard sell. It's an investment that's worth it. And it's one that you have to approach in a sustainable way. Everybody's busy. It's certainly understandable. But if this is something that you're wanting to do and wanting to act on, which I think, again, anybody with a business has a vested interest in doing so, but you got to be aware that it does take time, but that you can do it in a sustainable way.